What is up, Geeky Saiyan Army? It's Kanan.
It's Jessie.
And we are the Geeky Saiyan couple. And this is our RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 7 analysis. Our last one until RWBY comes back in February. If you hear any noise in the background, our 3D printer is going because apparently she's printing out a Christmas present for me. So, please, if you do hear it, we apologize for the background noise. But we tried to use the noise canceller, and it wasn't even picking her up because she's so soft-spoken. So
I can't help that.
So we didn't need a whole video of her just talking and not being able to hear her. So I don't think there's any kind of announcements or anything we need to make. If you're wondering what we're going to do with RWBY being gone, I think Jess is trying to come up with some cosplay-related videos.
I do have them. It's just, like I said, the mail is so slow. I'm still waiting on key things to be able to finish the pieces. I don't want to release a video that's like 3 seconds long for one part, so...
I'm going to keep doing Let's Play videos, though. I don't know how often we're going to be uploading because I've been working a lot. We're going to try and at least do the Monday, Wednesday, Friday format. So yeah, there's Let's Plays. We might during the hiatus maybe do our little fun reactions to the RWBY Chibi, maybe. Just depends if you guys want to see it. So yeah. Oh yeah, before we continue, don't need to forget our Patreon supporters. Thank you very much for continuing to support us. And plus all of our subscribers. We've seen a little bit of a increase here recently, so that's always good. Okay, so RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 7, it was called War. Whenever you name an episode after that, it is bound to be pretty bad, and it starts very, very serene. We got a little, we got a glimpse of the farmland of Atlas, which when I think of Atlas, I don't think farmland.
I don't either, so that's why I was like, what? Where is this? Is this, like, Vale or something? Like, or outside of Vale, or what? Where is that?
And, like, I tried to say in the reaction, like, the thunder in the background and the birds chirping and the ambiance, it was like, oh, this is like one of those things you listen to if you like listening to those soft sounds to go to sleep there. Like, that's what it reminded me of. I was like,
until the scene changed.
Yeah, until... Yeah, we get a little, I think it was, no, we go right to the front lines. Pretty much this Operation Human Shield. Like, pretty much what is going on right here. Because we get to see, yeah.
This guy's shaking.
Yeah, this is a guy who is right now going, like, his life is flashing.
Why am I on the front line?
His life is flashing before his eyes. Like, oh my gosh, I should have done this when I was 15. I should have asked that guy or girl out when I had the chance. Why am I here? What am I doing? I only joined the military because I like the retirement plan. I don't, like, this dude is just not in a good place. And we get, like, I was shocked. It's like, Remnant has John Deere's? like I did not...
It's like looking outside.
Yeah, I did not expect combines.
It's not on our land exactly, but not like that. But.
Yeah, like I did not expect to see combines. Like, this is something normal that's in everyday life. So yeah, I was kind of thrown off by that. And yeah,
the round rolls and all that. Just
yeah, and here we have got just a bunch of Grimm, and like the military is out and I guess full force. So yeah, apparently there is some farmland outside of Atlas. I don't know who's grazing cattle and all that for the hay, but I mean, maybe there are some farmers in Atlas.
This group right here some of them look like they're just standing around. Like,
yeah, this group right, yeah,
they're just like all.
There's some back here too. They're all just standing around like so.
The rest of them are all lined up, but like the front lines that are up by like the mechs are like
They're just like, hey, what are you going to do tonight? Think we're going to survive?
But these, except those really front two.
Yeah.
They're down, kneeling down, they see what's coming. But the other ones are just like, eh.
Now, I gotta admit, these mechs are pretty cool. Like, really, really cool. This is like something out of Robotech or something like that. So, yes, these Grim, we got some intense music going on. These Grim are coming, and in the background, yeah, I love how, like you point out, there's these soldiers standing around in a group, like, chatting, and they've got this in the distance. Like, yeah, that's...
Why would you stand and talk?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, now, this Monstra does something very interesting. Like, it's flailing around and all that, and, like, it literally lifts up and slams itself back down to pretty much throw up more Grim gook to summon more Grim. And the first Grim we get to see, let's see if I can stop on it here. I don't think we can. Maybe it's in another scene, but just, yeah, right here. Oh, look, it's our friend the Apathy. Well, that's great to know that those things are going to be crawling around Atlas now. No, not a good thing. That's oh my gosh, so many kids in Atlas are going to be having nightmares after this whole thing is over with. So this kind of hints that this thing can just regurgitate Grim endlessly. Like, it's an endless army of Grim, which I'm so happy about that, because it's making the Grim be a threat again.
Because if it wasn't for Monstra, the front lines that are out there probably could have taken out at least a substantial amount of the Grim. But they're just on a continuous roll of coming in. So,
so yeah, so they all start firing, guns a-blazing. And I'm sorry, every one of these soldiers is an awful shot. They miss every single one of these, it seems like. Like, these guys needed to go...
They may have hit back, like, ones further back in the pack, but you want to take the ones that are coming at you first. Like,
if any of these guys survive, they're going to be telling Ironwood. And at that time, we opened fire on them. And then what happened? They dodged. Great shooting there. Like, I think some of these guys maybe should have went to an Atlas arcade with a pocket full of quarters. Dropped them, because...
Or if any of these guys survive, they're going to go straight to Ironwood. I resign. I quit.
Firing at point blank range, and these Grims still get through. So right here, Monstra looks way closer than it was a minute ago, because look how big this thing is compared, like, even to the mechs. This thing is huge. So yeah, the Grim hit the front line, and the moment they hit the front line, we go to Ironwood. Who doesn't
look happy that his plan that he was so sure was going to work?
Yeah, he looks maddened in a way. Like, I don't know. It's just so he says to evacuate all Atlas citizens to the subway. So hey, Atlas has a subway system. I didn't know that before this episode, I don't think. So that is interesting. Prepare a Manta Squad Omega, like pretty standard, military speak for groups, Manta, Omega, all that. Dispatched to every part of Atlas. So he's trying to cover as much as he can, which they try to, talk back, but he says now. And then we get, okay. Have these people not noticed what's been in the sky since the end of Volume 7? Because everybody in Atlas...
Well, the thing is the way Ironwood's been going about things with Atlas, they see the military going around and they're used to it. He's not taking any precautions.
I know, but these people still have eyes. It's like, Dean's not noticed that...
Because he thinks they all thought they were protected.
But the shields are down.
But Ironwood's not referring to anything. He's just saying, pretty much all is fine. It makes...
I don't know. It just makes these people look really stupid that the shields come down and they're out having
common sense, but Ironwood's also not...
And they're out having a freaking picnic, like... And, like, he's saying, get to the nearest subway station for shelter. And this dude's like, what do I see there in the distance? It's called death. And, like this... Like, he just stands...
I stood there blown away. Like, all these other ones, they start running.
Yeah, and he stands there for the longest time. Like, everybody's running to the subway. You know, we get a great shot of this guy's dental work. Atlas must have great dentists. And there it is again. You know, and he's still.
And and his.
Which way do we go, George? Which way do we go?
And his daughter's still sitting there, like, watching everyone run around, like,
These two people's basic survival instincts are failing them. It's like, you know, if you're in a room and you hear something make a sound behind you and you turn around after hearing that sound and there is nothing there, that should tell you to get out of the room. If everybody is running around screaming bloody murder and you're just standing there like, huh? Then human instinct should tell you to run for your freaking life. They don't love themselves. That's what it is. Well, they live in Atlas. So, I just, you know, hey, look, Dad, look! And it turns around, and there is just Grim flying everywhere. It's, Atlas, like, the Atlas Society just must...
Is the way Ironwood has gone about things, pretty much not caring about Mantle, sugarcoating it for Atlas, and because he's probably instilled in Atlas that you're always protected from everything. Their Grim aren't gonna get up here. Oh, hello. Well, they are now.
And this guy is still just standing there. Like, I understand being so scared you can't move, but you got Grim flying over you, and you're still standing there, and all that... And
getting your daughter out of there should have been, like, first instinct.
And, like, the only thing that finally moves him is somebody knocks him over. I think he got knocked over. I can't remember. But, yeah, he got knocked over. Finally he moves. And you got all these people just... You still got people just standing right over here.
No, it looks like they're running. They're in mid-run. People
in Atlas just have way too much chill. Then he finally says, we need to go, you know. So... So they pretty much are like, we pretty much get the news that they can't get the shields back up, that the generators took too much damage. So I was just like, don't waste your time on them. And so he asked, you know, what about, you know, the creature? And they were like, we tried bombs, missiles, throwing the kitchen sink at it. We're not making a dent. So I really like how Winter is standing here. She looks so alpha that it's just like, you know, I love Winter. I love her new look. She's just awesome. Like, really. She's like, no wonder Weiss looked up to her so much, because I can see it. I really can. Okay, I'm just simping for Winter at this point. Let's move on. So she radios into... Ironwood tells him that Penny is still MIA, but they have Jean, Yang, and Ren. They're all handcuffed. That's just great, you know. You know, he's like, stand by for further orders. Don't let those fugitives out of your sight. You know, that's just you.
Seriously, so and then he's still going to push the fact that, you know, he's going to keep himself that he's right. And again, his semblance. It just pisses me off the further we go.
And Yang throws in the whole, still following orders. She's such a smart ass. Oh, I love that. Which, you know... Winter is so...
I wish for later on, I'll say, I wish what we could have seen when she looked at Yang.
This whole scene right here is really awesome looking. The animation, it's just awesome looking with everything moving and all that. So yeah, they can see things are not going so well, you know? And John brings up that is where Oscar is, where the Grimm took Oscar, you know, the Hound. And, of course, you know, the Aesops think they know everything. Grimm don't take prisoners. Well, no shit, you weren't there. And that's pretty much what Yang says. She turns around, she's like, this one did. It was horrific.
The thing is, this also fits in with everything else. Like, no matter what they tell them or Ironwood, no one's listening to them. That's the huge issue. Like, I know
they've all got sticks up their asses.
So the thing is they all know, okay, yeah, we may not have made all the right decisions, but nobody's listening to them. And Nora spoke out about that too in the last volume. Like, if they would just listen to what they're saying and, like, believe them and work together, none of this, at least part of this wouldn't have happened. Like, they would have had a headway of things, and probably Oscar wouldn't have gotten taken.
Well, so Ironwood tells them to cease fire and to concentrate on, the smaller Grimm, and that the command is working on a solution for the creature. Winter asks, what is it? And their answer is a bomb. They are going to blow this thing up from the inside. And like I said, this is pretty much like in real life when that whale washed up on that beach and the only way they could get rid of it is they blew it up. I'm like, Rooster Teeth, are you using that? So, Winter comes off as not really okay with the thought of using a bomb to blow this thing up.
The thing is because they'd have to take it inside.
Yeah.
And how would they get out in time?
Yeah. So, he wants Winter and the Aesops to deliver it on foot. And she's just like, of course, we'll hold the point and get it done. It's like, yeah, and they're like, Oscar's inside that thing. You're going to blow him up and blow Oscar up with it, which would kill Ozpin as well. Wouldn't kill Salem, but, Yang is like, you can't do this. She's, of course, Yang's the most outspoken one. And here's the thing. We go down and Winter... she balls up her fist. Winter doesn't like this. She knows this probably isn't a good thing, and it could get her, the Aesops, anyone that's going to be near this thing killed. Like, seriously. And there's a good chance this bomb could probably damage part of Atlas and kill more people.
Well, the way Irons is going, that's like the look on her face. He doesn't care.
Yep.
Like, they're going to be taken on foot, and they're probably all going to die in his mind.
Yep.
And then it'd be a sacrifice made for Atlas. Yep. That would be his excuse for that. And that is a terrible way of thinking.
So we get this really creepy part of Salem, like, just conducting this destruction like a orchestra. Like, it is really, really creepy with the music they're playing. But yeah, she's pretty much orchestrating it, and it's really wild. Now, I was wondering what we were going to see right here, and Emerald is sneaking around. She is, I don't know what it is, but in this volume, like, I never noticed it in other volumes, but Emerald just looks way more different this volume. It's probably just them.
It's been a while,
yeah,
too.
It's probably just them upscaling the models more, and it might be part of the new outfit. But, yeah, she is, suspenseful music. Yes, it's very suspenseful. And sadly, we see the return of the pod. This thing is...
Does this thing even have a name? This Grimm thing?
I think it does. I don't remember. I just call it the pod because that's what it reminds me of.
Creepy.
Yeah, it is. Because we know what this thing did to Lionheart, and it's just...
Well, the other one was destroyed, so obviously she created another one.
No, yeah. That's what she does. She creates Grimm. I don't like this thing at all. But Emerald uses...
octopus?
Yeah, pretty much. She uses her semblance to, get around it. And she sneaks up to where Hazel is beating up Oscar, and she listens in. And at first I was like, this has reminded me of something, but we'll get to that in a sec. So Hazel pretty much tells him, the stunt he pulled in the last episode. He's lucky that Salem just didn't kill him. And, he's like, just make things easier on yourself and tell the truth, So Ozpin starts trying to play, like, he's telling, like, pretty much the facts, but he's trying to, it's not really mind games, but he is trying to get through to Hazel. He's like,
He's trying to lure his mind to start thinking and realizing he's going about this, wrong.
So he says that her and him share a vision. They're going to create a new world order. No kingdoms, no academies. And Ozpin just laughs at this because,
He's heard it before.
Yeah. He pretty much tells him when she gets all 4 relics, there'll be no world left at all. In which, he says, she's been, he tells her she's been alive longer than you comprehend. And she doesn't want that anymore. And, he's like, that's kind of a funny picture. Stop lying. Salem can't be killed. Then we learn, when she came after Hazel, he actually killed her several times over and over, and she just kept coming back. And he said the longest she was gone was for only a few hours. So it was like, dead, I'm back, dead, I'm back, dead, I'm back. It's like,
Ted, I give up.
yeah. Before she put herself back together, to the point where he couldn't even lift his arms anymore. So he full out exhausted himself trying to kill Salem before he just gave up. And pretty much warped his mind that through her he would finally have the vengeance on Ozpin that he really wanted. And he says, "Oh, Hazel, don't you see?" And he kind of says it like he pities him in a way. He's like, "Oh, I feel so sorry for you."
I just realized.
What?
He's got electrical scars because the dust he used.
Yeah. But they're not like...
Because his skin tone is darker, they'd look different. But they're scars from using the dust.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
So that's why she came for you, and this is what you needed. This is what, And, like, it's funny. He says, the people of Atlas and people of Remnant, what have they done to deserve this?
Yeah.
She's letting you... She's using your vengeance, your need for revenge against me to, make you be okay with people dying just so you get what you want. I think that's pretty much what he is getting at.
And so he said Oscar, Atlas, people of Remnant.
Yeah, he says you haven't done what you've done for Justice. You've done it for yourself because she pushed you to think it would help you. And he's like, has it really? Okay. So, I knew, the moment I saw this, I knew if anyone shipped Nora with Weiss, it would blow up. And it has. We go back to Shenee Manor, and Weiss is pretty much the one watching over Nora. And,
well, we do find out this is her room.
Yeah, it is. Yep, it is. And Nora is slightly, I think, coming back out of unconsciousness,
And I had mentioned myself, her color's coming back.
Yeah.
Like, before she was really pale, and now she's getting color right up here under her eyes, that's always a good sign. You want to see color come back, especially into the face.
She still definitely has the scars, and she's once again...
They don't look as dark now.
She's once again asking in her sleep, what am I good for?
Or what am I good for now, I think, something like that.
And Weiss gives her this tender little... runs her finger through her hair to get it out of her eye. It was kind of soft, and it was like, well, if Nora wasn't already involved with Ren, maybe.
But I do see, like, I get what you mean.
It's
but
motherly. It's like it's
Yes,
Weiss's motherly. Like, Weiss has kind of become the mother in a way of a lot of characters, so that's what it could be.
But it also shows how close the two teams have come as well. Like, they started all slightly separated, and they all grew closer together as, pretty much two teams combining to work that closely together, and it's their family. I mean, Weiss has said it before.
Yeah. And then Blake and Ruby come in now. Some people have said this is coffee. I think it's tea because Blake has some and Blake has never liked coffee, so... But I'm like, really? You all are making tea while the world's ending outside? Like,
I mean, all they can do is just wait for the moment.
I guess I expected them just to rush out, but they can't really leave Nora there like that.
It is, like, I know the way it looks, it's hard to tell when it's animated, but those are teacups. It's tea. You don't put coffee in teacups.
But once again, the walking animations in this volume are really, really good. I know we've seen walking animations before, but they've never looked this fluid. So it's looking really, really good as far as these short animation walks.
Again, her hair.
Yep. Ruby asks Weiss how Nora's doing. She says she's done what she can, but she needs a doctor. Says hopefully May's able to reach the others, and we finally, after 2 volumes of not getting any, we get once again some small Bumblebee crumbs. Because Blake starts to say I really do think she wanted to say I'm worried about Yang. but she stops at I'm, looks out the window, and says I really hope they're okay. So yeah, once again, it's the long running joke. Somebody call Yang for me. So yeah, once again, them showing that Blake and Yang miss each other. They're worried about each other, so they're building toward that reunion. I don't care what anyone says. So something's got to give. Saying that the monster is making Grimm faster than the military can kill them. The city won't stand a chance unless we stop it. So this, I'm wondering, because of what Blake says right here, if it's foreshadowing for them connected to what we know is going to happen with the other group. I'll get to that in a sec. Ruby says, it's massive, way bigger than a Leviathan. What can we even do? Now, it's pretty bad if Ruby is questioning what they can do, because Ruby's usually the one that thinks up of something. So Weiss brings up that Penny was able to launch Amity and get the message out. Do we wait for someone to come, or even if they do come? The thing is, though, I don't think they would get there in time, like I've always said. Either.
I really do think that
the only one who could get there in a flash is Raven.
Yeah, and that would kind of be a mistake because, she's a maiden, so which not everyone knows. Yeah. But the thing is, the point is, though, is the best thing that most of the places, like in most areas, can do that since everyone saw the message, they need to start preparing, because even if they, like the furthest points, they can't do anything. They need to get themselves prepared, because shit's coming to them too, regardless of how Atlas ends. So
Ruby says, how did it all get like this? Well, sadly, a big comedy of errors, pretty much. So May walks in, the lovely May Marigold, says, Fiona said, your friends haven't been heard from in a while. Now, I kind of wish there was more of a reaction out of that, because you would think, that's not good, but, you've got to move the plot along here. Unfortunately, the last thing they're worried about is a couple of kids. So May says, come on, I've got the ship ready to head back, and Weiss, of course, doesn't want to leave because there's people in Atlas they need to save. May says it's chaos at the crater, and, the Atlas has the army, but Mantle only has them. People are dying, and Weiss says people are dying here too. Don't you have family in Atlas? Now, here we get, probably the biggest character moment for May since she was introduced. She says, no, Mantle needed me, and to the Marigolds, that meant I wasn't their son anymore. So she saw what was being done in Mantle. She didn't like it. She wanted to help, and the Marigolds being, if anything is to go off how Henry acted in Volume 4, they're that type of Atlas family where, that's below them. Pretty much, if you leave, you're no longer part of the family, And then said, and I made sure that everyone knew that I wasn't their daughter. So, pretty much, she doesn't care about her family because, maybe that's too harsh to say, but, she
doesn't care what they think of what she does, because she wants to do what she believes, or what she knows is the right thing to do, and that's actually caring about others, not caring about the high society of Atlas. Yeah,
so she says, so forget them. They've got Henry, yours have Whitley. You get what I'm saying. So we're getting a little bit of a parallel here between Weiss and May, because of, they've got Henry, the Schnees have Whitley,
Which at that point, because they saw how Whitley was acting, which we'll get to that too.
Yeah, so a little bit of a parallel between Weiss and May here a little bit, because they both come from outstanding, very high up Atlas families, and, Weiss's family, mostly her father, shunned her away because, she pretty much done what Winter did, and that's go her own way instead of following what her father wanted to do. So, but the thing is, especially by the end of this episode, the Schnees, without Jacques there, are slowly but surely putting themselves back together. So, and also, I love, like, it's so funny, there was so many fans in the fandom saying that May isn't trans unless it's said in the show. Well, where you at now? Yeah, what do you guys say now?
There you go. It was.
Yeah.
Oh, it was definitely said.
Yeah. So once again, pretty much a line that was said in Volume 7 by the Aesops. Which side are you on anyway? And Blake even points that out. We've heard that before. And it's like
It caught her off a little guard a little bit.
And she starts walking toward Blake. I wonder what she was wanting to say. But then Ruby steps in and says there are no sides. We're facing Salem together. And together is the only way we're going to get out of it. Which May, calms down.
She knows that's really the truth. And I mean...
And, says, so how exactly do we get out of it? And then we zoom out, and Whitley is overhearing them. So, now, the one saying this is Osmond. So long as this world turns, you shall walk its face. He's pretty much telling Salem's story to Hazel.
Which he probably has told her more within the time frame that we've not seen. But
yeah, but if Salem can divide humanity beyond repair and bring all 4 relics back together, she believes that maybe the curse will be broken, the gods will rule against us, and destroy Remnant once and for all. And, of course, since Hazel doesn't trust Osmond, he thinks he's lying. He just says, nice, pretty much a nice fairy tale, And, he says if losing his sister, which I hope what I think might happen happens, because I'd love to see what his sister looked like, because I want to see if there's any more connections, like maybe seeing them when they were kids, seeing if they really did look like Hansel and Gretel at some point, But if Gretchen's death taught me one thing, it's never to trust you. So Oscar's like, let me take over. He'll trust me more than he'll trust you. Which, it's kind of weird. Like, ever since Hazel and Oscar met, they've kind of been, I don't know, it seemed like there's a little bit of a kinship there, maybe a little bit, because, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I'd have to rewatch, like, volumes 4 or 5 and all that to really see it again. But it seems like Hazel is a bit soft on Oscar, so we'll see. But he says, you want them to trust us, then trust me, so Oscar takes over and pretty much tells him.
You can tell because his hair and everything, the air around him changes.
Yeah, and he tells him Jen's name, and that's how to summon her, just to say her name. And he's like, and he even tells him she can only ask one more question. Or answer. Well, no, she can still answer one more question. And he says, after all that, you're just going to give Salem the password. And he says, no, I'm giving you the password, and hoping you'll find the truth for yourself, which,
that was one thing and it clicked.
Yeah.
Like, everything else that's been said, he just, you can even see it in his eyes right here, perfectly. It's just, realization hits. And then we get this.
Emerald heard everything. Everything. Remember that video we did about Emerald and Aladdin? Could Emerald be the one who uses the lamp? You ain't never had a friend like me. Okay.
I kind of really do hope that's... Because, we all see... Yeah, she has it. She has... Look how everything looks now. She's not getting that question she wants.
Yeah.
Salem's not going to get... She got the lamp, yeah. We didn't want her to have it, but she's not getting what she wants.
Yeah. So, of course, she goes to Mercury. Mercury's like, he's a prisoner. He's going to say whatever he wants to. And we find out here that Salem is sending him and Tyrion to Vacuo. So, I hope Team Coffee and Team Sun are ready.
And he's, he's gotten so cocky and confident under, to follow Salem now.
Yeah.
It's, for now.
Yeah, there's a little something here that happens. That's what I was saying, that
for now, you can see it, but...
So, through this whole part, he's, totally following Salem, He says those are Salem's new orders for him and Tyrion to go to Vacuo. He knows better to disobey her. And Emerald's not having none of this, I think. I think finally Emerald's at her she's had enough, I think, at this point. Look, even if what he said was true, we can't stop Salem. You told me yourself Hazel tried. He failed and he got in line. Big guy's not going to pick fights he can't win. And neither should we. So, like, it's funny. Like, yeah, Emerald and Mercury, I guess, are friends in a way. But we've kind of been seeing this divide against them since Volume 6, even though we didn't see them in Volume 7. And all this is pointless anyway. Salem's not ending the world. Tyrion's like, oh, yes, she is. Like, Tyrion spills everything here. Like, Salem
doesn't think about it. He just does it.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, that's also part of a psychopath.
Yeah, he's like, you surprised? He reminds me so much of Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. Like, he is just completely...
insane?
Yeah, Salem is destruction incarnate. Our mistress wishes to see the end of it all. There is no ideal more beautiful. If you couldn't see that from the start, you must be out of your mind. And I'm like, dude, you're
out of your mind.
Yeah, so I mean that makes perfect sense why you knew about it. Like, you know, he's just
casually going on about it, not thinking about it. So clearly, I mean,
yeah, and he giggles and says, "Now come along, Mr. Black. You and me have a date with the desert." And yeah, we get this really creepy Grim that's just chilling. You know, it's so they get into this little ship, and Mercury looks at Emerald here.
Well, first he looked at Tyrion because Tyrion just shoved him in, and he kind of gave him this pissed off growl look at him.
Here's the thing, though. His look at her softens, and he nods at her. Pretty much saying, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I made sure to say what I did. Like, he was so high up on following her orders, and now that he actually, they see the truth. Because, I mean, they know, Tyrion's not going to lie. He's insane, and they know this. So
I'm at the point, I think there's a good chance that Hazel, Mercury, and Emerald are all going to turn on Salem at some point. They might not all live, but...
Mercury might be that turning point for Tyrion's end.
Yeah.
Because he could betray him.
And sadly, since they're going to Vacua, that means Crow's once again going to have to wait on getting his revenge on Tyrion, because Tyrion's no longer an Atlas. So we go back.
Maybe that's where if Crow were to be the one to end Tyrion, which would be right.
At least we know that Crow's lasting till Vacuo.
I think that's gonna be the end of Tyrion, and I think it'll be there. Yeah. But I think the main cause that'll get Crow that opportunity will be because of Mercury, regardless if he lives or not.
Yeah. So we get back to Winter, Yang, Jean, and everyone else, and once again they're like, you can't blow up the whale Oscars in there. Jean's like, please, Winter, give us a chance. And you can tell Winter is very conflicted. She doesn't like this plan.
We'll learn exactly some things here in a few minutes.
Yeah, please let us try and rescue him first. We could be your test run. Pretty much a suicide mission, pretty much. You don't know what'll be waiting for you inside. We can go ahead and check it out. Look for Oscar while we're inside. Pretty much, go in, find him, get out. Though I don't think it's going to be that simple. And I was like, you want to go inside that thing?
Alone?
Oh, yeah, he's like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, wouldn't you...
He's definitely going to be the one to speak up because he's grown pretty close to them. And I think he's closer in age to them.
Yeah. So Yang asked him, wouldn't you do it for, Elm, Harriet, and Vine? Which I guess Yang forgot what was said in Volume 7, which, you gotta remember, Volume 7 took the course over a couple of months, I'm sure.
But you'd think also she's gonna say that, they have, in their mind, they've had to have some connection, but...
I think for Marrow,
it is.
Yeah.
The others, however, well, at least more so Harriet at the top of that.
Well, I don't know. Well, Elm's very, we don't let feelings get in the way of making the right call.
But she's saying that, but Harriet's the one that's at the top that keeps the anger.
Yeah. Says trading 3 lives for 1 is stupid. And then Ren finally speaks up. No, it's not. He's our friend. We'll do whatever it takes to find him because we care about him. And it's like, thank you, Ren. After almost 2 volumes of you just being... very difficult to deal with. You're
I've been saying since Volume 7, something, obviously with the divide and everything between him and Nora and all that, and everything, and
look at John and Yang, they even look at each other like they're surprised.
Like, because you can tell he's been struggling. We had talked about this, I think in the car the other day, and I had said that, think back to also when they were training, during 7, and he was sitting there and he was trying really hard to concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
He was pushing himself, and I mean, in a few minutes we're gonna find out why. I've been calling this since 7, like something. This is leading up to something personal in Ren. So, and Nora pushed the fact of it a lot in the last volume. So it'll all make sense. Thinking back now.
Yeah. So Harriet says, I really had you pegged as the most level. Well, I mean, he is, technically, of the bunch, but I guess you're just as naive. Feelings don't matter. The job matters. When you lose someone on your team, you move on. Replace them. Like, Marrow replaced Tortuga, so there's a member of the Aesops that was, who Marrow...
That was his partner, probably.
Yeah,
So he's not exactly partnered with Harriet.
Yeah. And Winter replaced, so, I mean, I guess this meaning that Winter's the leader of the Aesops now? Because it's pretty much hinted that she was going to say Winter replaced Clover.
Yeah, it's kind of where that was...
And, he says, no one is irreplaceable. And boom.
Unlocked. It completely,
he evolved his semblance. So
which,
now...
This is what I was leading to. So I knew something was going to happen. Something... Because, yeah, he's been getting stronger, but he's not evolved it like everyone else has. So... At least everyone else so far that we've seen. And this is that moment. And this is what...
In simpler terms... Okay, sorry.
This is what I believed also. He needed this also. Especially because he's even... His conversations from last volume with Nora. This would have helped him so much. And it would have made a lot more sense had it been that.
In simpler terms... Ren can see emotions now, which is kind of funny with the guy who has always been said, keeps his emotions bottled up and all that. He is now the one that can see everyone's emotions.
Which would actually, in turn, help him understand the emotions. Yeah. Because he couldn't see them. He could only mask them, and now he has this ability to evolve.
But it seems like not only can he see them, he knows exactly what the emotion means. He says, you don't really believe that. You're furious about losing Clover, which she's got red all around her, and red is usually, and you miss him, and red is usually the color associated with anger, which she's caught off guard by that.
Slight orange, yeah. So that's where he's getting the anger and missing.
Yeah, so she's caught off guard by that, and he says, you don't know anything about me. Like, oh, he can read your emotions now, Harriet.
Yeah,
so.
like her. Then it just pisses her off more.
Yeah.
And he just...
He looks at Marrow, and Marrow's is blue, which, I mean, that's kind of sadness, melancholy in a way.
It fits with everything. He doesn't want to do this.
Yeah. Green is usually like the color like Zen, like you're calm usually, I think. I don't know. I think it's funny, like, there's, like, he doesn't look at Yang's.
It looks like he particular has to focus and look at the one person.
Now, around him, he's got like these, like the purple. So maybe that's what the thing in the intro was. Yeah.
They're like the purplish pink.
So many have been theorizing that not only can he see the emotions, he can see the emotions that are repressed in a way. So then he, that's why you lost against Team RWBY. You try to fight how you feel about each other, so you'll never truly work as a team. Which, it
just pisses Elm off.
Yeah, don't know what you're talking about. And she actually goes to punch him. And Winter says, everyone calm down. And she says, yeah, let's do it. Which, of course, Harriet doesn't like. She says, we'll drop you as close as we can to the monster. She says, you can't be serious. And she does, they're fugitives and traitors. She looks at her and says, I outrank you. Pretty much shut up. You know? Like, she pretty much told her, try me.
Even if she's not the new head to the Aesops, like, she probably is, but even if she's
Ironwood's second, pretty much.
That's what I'm saying, is she'll outrank pretty much anybody.
Yeah. If you aren't out in time, we drop the payload. Meaning, if you ain't out in time, you're going up with the... So... I want to throw this little prediction out because of this. We all know before Volume 8 aired, Erin did a lot of screaming, apparently. Had to scream in her voice sessions. She also had a box of tissues. And she said, yes, that is a box of tissues. I cried during it because I had to voice something that touched... She said it touched her. That, I know.
Like it was, so it wasn't...
It wasn't necessarily something sad.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily something like...
It was something that, I mean, what sounds like it made her so happy she cried. What if Blake finds out Yang's inside that thing and it's going to blow up and, you know, Yang and them probably get out, but they don't know that, so the well blows up and she thinks Yang's in there, so of course she's going to scream Yang's name, and then when she finds out Yang's alright, what if that's what finally breaks the dam and Blake finally tells Yang how she feels, and then we finally get the confession of that. Who knows if it'll happen, but...
I have a feeling that whatever she screams will be a cliffhanger in another episode.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just have that feeling.
Yeah, so she says no matter what. Marrow doesn't like it. Jean says we understand. And so they drop them off. Like, Yang isn't worried at all. She, like, uses her gauntlets to
Tell herself out.
Yeah, you know, none of them's worried. And this is what I love right here. You don't like this either. In fact, you don't want to be a part of it at all anymore. Boy, have we not all been calling that since Volume 7. Like, poor Marrow.
I've been calling that since we saw Marrow for the first time.
Yeah. He says, I have a job to do, and I'm going to do it.
You can tell he's keeping his
Well, yeah,
nerve,
they put Harriet in the picture for a reason. Oh, yeah, there she goes. I thought it was up there, but yeah, she just boings off. And Jean goes off, and this, I know you don't either. And he looks back.
This is what I was talking about, like when... she had the orders and she closed her fist. I wish we could have seen the emotions going at that point.
Pretty much, Winter is a bag of emotions right now. She is feeling
everything.
Sadness, anger. You know, the green could be heard trying to keep her calm. So yeah, they are showing a lot that Winter is not okay with this. She does not like this. It's going against a lot of things she thought was right.
This fits even more also, and they said colors are a big thing.
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And this
just look at her.
Really shows it now. Like,
yeah,
literally.
I mean, look at her. She's questioning everything. So now we go back to Ruby, and then, you know, what about Crow and Robin? Maybe if we get them out, you know, possibly they could help. She says no. See, you just don't get it. This is not a situation where everyone wins. Now, you all can come with me to help in Mantle, or I can drop you off on the front lines if you want to help Atlas. Your uncle and Robin can't save. So it's really weird that May does not want to save Robin. It's maybe Robin put in them that, you know, whatever you do.
They need to not take time to worry about me right now. You need to do what you can to save Mantle and others, like everybody. So
at least, you know, she says you have to choose. So choose. Look at poor Blake. Her little ears are down, and I'm very interested in what they're going to decide.
This.
Yeah. And then someone knocks on the door, and, you know, instant
ready.
Yeah. So they sneak over. And you said you knew the moment you saw this shadow.
Because of the way the body's built, I was like, I think I know who that is.
It's Klein. He's all right.
I was so happy to see him. And we learn more about him here.
Yeah. So, if there's still people who are new to RWBY who maybe didn't watch it during Volume 4 and all that, Klein is the Schnee butler. and
real
yeah,
father
he
figure.
pretty much raised the kids himself, but his fairy tale inspiration, he's pretty much the seven dwarves all in one. His personality changes. But yeah, he's pretty much the seven dwarves to Weiss's Snow White.
And
so-
we know that. I mean, he's
So
they don't die.
Yeah, so apparently he's a doctor. If there was a patient here, I heard there was a patient here who needed my help, and
Which kind of makes sense though too, because if they would have gotten sick as kids, he would have been the one to take care of them.
yeah, and she says, "I'm so sorry, Klein." She's pretty much trying to apologize because she feels like him helping her run away in Volume 4 is what got him fired. And he calls her it's so sweet.
It is, and it's just made me so happy.
Yeah,
we
please
saw
don't.
his why, and now we have Klein back.
Yeah. So please don't worry, my snowflake. It had nothing to do with you. And then he goes into grumpy and everything.
His eyes changed.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that's always been a thing.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and everything to do with Jacques, and he slams the door.
I love the emphasis on that with the slam of the door.
Yeah. She's wiping tears away. Well, that's sweet of you. And, she's like, but how did you know? And it turns out Whitley is the one who called
blue.
him.
Like, I never noticed they went from green to red to blue. I did not notice that the first time.
Yeah, that was in Volume 4. It was in Chibi.
I just didn't pay attention to that. That's just one detail I hadn't noticed yet.
So so Whitley is the one who got a hold of Klein. May I please see the patient? I understand it's urgent. He tells her that she is in Weiss's room, and when he's like, "I haven't been gone that long. I'm sure I can find it."
The look was just like,
Yeah, he pats him on the shoulder. So pretty much, Whitley is not as bad as people have pegged him out to be.
I know.
It was mostly his father's influence.
In the beginning, I called him a little asshole, and everybody did.
Everybody calls him Shitley, but Shitley did good for once. This was actually pretty touching.
But this is
the
true brother
that
she has.
The embarrassed scratching the back of the head. You called Klein. That girl needs a doctor, and I didn't do it for you. This little Sundre-like attitude. But when he says that, she says, "I know. That's why it means so much to me." Pretty much, she's glad to see that her brother has a heart.
Took the needs of somebody else.
Yeah, over
and did
himself.
What he needed to,
yeah.
and didn't do it for her. He did it because somebody needed it.
Yeah, and she walks up to him, and it looks like at first he's scared.
He goes, "Oh."
But she hugs him, and after he gets over his shock, he hugs her back. So,
this
like I
moment
said,
meant so much to see because I knew he wasn't. He was just a little bastard to begin with, but we know why because of their father. But this shows this is the true brother that she really had and that she left behind.
Well, it's good because it shows that there's hope for the Schnee family.
The true Schnee family.
Yeah,
Jacques was just married into it.
This could be like the family becoming a family again, which I think is really what Weiss's story is right now. Not like everybody has always said that she should restore the family name and get the Schnee Dust Company back up to what it should be, but I think at the core of her story has always been her family. And how really
which that can combine the family business, but this is the most important thing.
But since Volume 1, she always used I'm a Schnee, and all that. But
she's really showing what her name means.
Well, underneath all that, she came from a troubled family, and she hid that. And we started getting more hints of that as the series went on. But now, ever since we got back into Atlas, it seems like her true story for her is she got rid of the cancer of her family, which was Jacques, and now we still don't know what's going on with Willow. She's in the intro, so hopefully she does show up sometime here soon. But,
I believe maybe, she may have locked herself away, but I'm hoping she's digging for things.
And so Weiss and Winter's relationship has always been close, even though Winter has always been kind of rough on Weiss, but that's just because she wants her to succeed. And even though her sister may technically be following orders to arrest her. It's shown that Winter really doesn't want to do that, of course.
And
But
we definitely saw that now.
yeah, but the roughest relationship was Weiss and Whitley, and it seems like that may get better in the future. But we're not out of the woods yet. There's another explosion outside, and I love how everyone looks worried except Blake. Blake's like ready to go. And Ruby goes and opens the door.
I noticed someone posted that she kind of pulled him closer, like...
Yeah, like, protect
it
him.
was a protection thing, and I thought it was just like, he just kind of went, because he's unarmed, he wouldn't last.
So they see something has crashed in front of the manor, so Ruby, Watts, and Blake all run out, and it's Penny. Wow, it took her 2 weeks to finally fall back down to Atlas. Not, that's a joke. I just know something. Apparently she bleeds green. Well, that's awful. And she reaches, she says, I'm sorry. And then goes out cold, and that's the end of the episode. So
definitely, I mean, it's definitely a cliffhanger, but it's definitely not what I expected. It
Well-
wasn't as...
Well, we found out later, thanks to Eddie, that this episode was not written with the hiatus in mind. So
that's why the cliffhanger wasn't as bad as
yeah.
everyone anticipated it to be.
Yeah, but I mean, still a lot of stuff going on. Like now, like I'm sure everybody's going to be worried sick about Jean, Ren, and Yang. Ren and John, I'm not sure of, but nothing's going to happen to Yang. She's a main protagonist. Not like Team Ruby's got plot on her. They can get hurt, but they're not going to die.
I think the little plus of Ren evolving his semblance gives him a little more there.
You just reminded me. Everyone is already theorizing that Ren is going to be able to see the feelings between Blake and Yang with his new semblance and be like, oh, Nora was right.
That's what I'm saying, though. Also, with this new...
It's going to help him be more open to...
Yeah, it's going to help him and Nora.
Yeah.
I've been saying this since the beginning. Like, just... They were separating them. Everyone's like, well, even you said, well, this isn't good. This isn't good. No, it was happening for a reason, and he needed this. This is exactly what he needed, because he was the only way he was going to actually... For him to understand emotions more himself than just masking and feeling them, seeing them opens a whole new light for him to be able to be more open. Like,
I mean, one of them can still die. So
well, yes, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's
I don't think it's
definitely not the death flag we were seeing.
I don't think a main character. Well, I don't know. Like this volume has way too many opportunities for someone to get killed. So
I meant them specifically.
I know, but like it's just hard to think that we're going to get through this whole entire volume without losing someone.
I know somebody's going to die, but I don't think it's going to be any of the teams right now. Like those two teams.
Yeah, probably not. Like another thing though, with Yang going inside Monstra, that does set up the possibility again of her facing Neo again.
Yeah.
So, and plus, everybody's got this theory that Neo's going to disguise herself as Yang or Blake to trick one of the others. I don't know if that's going to happen, but so hopefully we get like, I don't know, like Chapter 8's going to be episode 100 of all of RWBY, so I'm hoping they've got something really big planned for that one, whether it's a big fight, a death, I don't know, a big character moment, Bumblebee, I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I mean, we still got a whole half a volume. We're 7 episodes in, we got 7 more to go. But we won't see it till February. But it'll be here.
I'd love to see, like, definitely a Bumblebee, but, like, then when hopefully Nora coming too, but even just a reunion of Ren seeing Nora, like something.
But we don't know. We just don't know. Like, I don't know so much what's going to happen with Ren and Nora, but
it's not the main focus this time.
Well, no,
like,
but
hugely anyway.
No, but they, like, for almost this entire volume, they have been teasing about Blake and Yang being separated.
Maybe the thing, like, between Ren and Nora, maybe it'll be like the reverse of how Nora and how they were the parallel on the other side. Maybe it's flipped this time.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Like, it would be something if it was.
I don't want to make like an overly big predictions because
I'm just saying.
But it just seems like, let's see, for chapters 1 through 4, 5 didn't have anything because it was a Penny episode. 6 didn't have anything because it was mostly a Cinder episode. And then this one, 5 out of 7 chapters, they've thrown little things in to show that either Yang was missing Blake, Blake was missing Yang, or they both were worried about each other. The whole thing in chapter 4 with Yang being like, do you think she thinks less of me? They're not doing that for shits and giggles. Like, something's got to happen. Like I said, if nothing happens when they all reunite, we're doing a ranting video, because that's not good. But now we got to wonder who's going to use the lamp. Is it going to be Hazel? Is it going to be Emerald?
I hope it's Emerald.
I kind of do too, really. Is Emerald going to convince Cinder to leave? What's Neo going to do? Because now Mercury and Tyrion are gone. So, I mean, one of the biggest threats was Tyrion, and he's gone now. I mean, Hazel could still technically be a threat, but that's only if he doesn't find out what will... one of them needs to ask what's Salem hiding or something, and then us see Salem's dirty closet, the bones that she's got in her closet. I'm with you though. I do not think Salem's going to get the question.
Oh no, it's becoming more apparent the further we're getting into this volume. Like, she ain't getting the question. She got the lamp, and she just thinks she's getting cockier.
Yeah, like, I've never seen a villain who just doesn't pay attention to everything around her in a way. Like, she's
just creating everything for herself.
She's very one-dimensional, like, not one-dimensional, like, she stares in one direction. She has
blinders on.
Yeah, like, it seems like it's only the thing in front of her. She doesn't consider the variables.
All the variables are her tools, and she doesn't care what happens.
And her tools are starting to think for themselves. So, I mean, I kind of expected this to happen. I kind of expected at some point Hazel was going to start wondering things. Emerald, for sure. Emerald's been showing it since, volume 4.
I have called that from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep that claim that I called that from the beginning. I've called a few things from the beginning, and it's all going that direction.
And I mean, we've already seen Cinder is out for herself. She's not as loyal to Salem as she comes off as. The only one that we're not 100% sure which way it's going to go with is Neo. I don't know what Neo's going to do.
I still think she's going to throw Cinder under the bus.
She might, but then I
don't see Neo going, like, she still fits in that anti-hero category.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of think she might replace Cinder. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I mean, I don't know. Neo is the only one I'm not 100% sure where they're going with. So we know that Cinder is being sent to Atlas to get Watts. So you would think Neo's going to go with her because she can disguise herself. Where does that leave Emerald? Is Emerald going to go, or is she going to try and steal the lamp with Hazel? I don't know. Now, if Neo goes to Atlas with Cinder, I'm going to be scared because Neo could disguise herself as Yang and trick Blake. I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen, but who knows? All right, I think this video's been long enough. So yeah, that was our analysis of Chapter 7. Like I said, it's going to be our last one until February. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. We got several weeks to think about it. So if you enjoyed it, which I hope you did because I am exhausted, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, click that like button, share it around, leave us a comment, tell us what you think, tell us what you thought about the episode, tell us where you think things are going to go. There's still going to be RWBY content on the channel. We're still going to do our RWBY fairy tale videos. We might go ahead and do, like I said, the Ruby Chibi reactions. I'm not sure. We want to hold off the retrospective reactions to volumes 1 through to chapter 1 of volume 7 until after volume 8's over with, because we want to go back and watch that with you guys,
especially with the information that we know now.
Yeah,
we can, like, it'd be great to go back and actually re-see everything, and the things that are the things that are connecting now. It's the same thing when you read books. When you go back and start them over again, everything starts to make sense. Things you didn't really even notice the first time.
Yeah.
Again, hey, I didn't notice Klein's eyes.
Yeah, you did. I can't believe you didn't.
I didn't pay attention to that.
I can't believe you
I
didn't.
remember them switching, but not like 3 different colors. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
definitely fits with. I didn't realize his story was the 7 dwarves.
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of obvious because because it's like grumpy, sleepy, bashful.
Well, I just didn't.
Happy.
I didn't think about it.
All right, guys. As always, guys, this is Kanan.
This is Jessie.
We love you all very, very much. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.